my God, Cam Newton, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Swear to God, we going to the Super Bowl. No, you're not. Who said you going to the Super Bowl? Okay, you got Cam Newton, you got a good quarterback. Okay, but let me ask you this. What happens if the Patriots start off 0-3? You know how Cam Newton has attitude problems. How you think he's going to act? Oh my God, Cam Newton, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. What people don't realize is, no matter where he went, the team that he had gone to was going to be must see. The same thing applies for Antonio Brown. If Antonio Brown would find his way onto a football team in 2020, just because of him and who he is, that football team is now must watch. The Patriots have been a team that has been a dynasty for many, many years. But now it's a different chapter. It's a new chapter. It's the Tom Brady-less chapter. Regardless of what you think about Cam Newton going to New England, he is now, not only him, but the Patriots team is now must watch. Cam Newton yesterday signed with the New England Patriots. I don't know if he officially signed, but he made the decision that he was going to sign with the Patriots on a one-year deal. Obviously, it was going to be a one-year deal. I think anywhere, no matter where Cam went, it was going to be a one-year deal. Does it make the Patriots a better team? Yes. Does it make them must-watch? Yes. Are they a playoff team? I think so. Are they a Super Bowl team? No. No. We're going to learn a lot of things this year. Things about players that are no longer on the Patriots. We're going to learn what the problem was last year on the Patriots. Was it weapons? Was it Tom Brady? Tom Brady losing a step? Tom Brady slowing down? Well, I can tell you this right now. Tom Brady, this coming season, is going to have no problem getting yards and no problem throwing the football. I think Tom Brady's about to have a season where he puts up some of the best offensive stats of his damn career. Cam Newton is a good quarterback. Nobody ever said he wasn't. There are two problems with Cam Newton that hopefully don't follow him to New England, because one of them will get him in a lot of trouble. As my dog continues to squeak the toy in the other room, which she likes to do the second I start recording, I'm going to continue talking here. Two problems, and they could both easily follow Cam Newton to New England. The injury history. Cam Newton, for some reason, plays with a level of senselessness where he does not use his head. Where, matter of fact, he actually does use his head. He uses his head to do a triple, quadruple, ultra flip moonsault into the end zone every single time he wants to score a touchdown. What he doesn't realize is the only reason he's not paralyzed right now is because he's big as shit. Cam Newton needs to try to play smarter football. And hopefully that's something that Bill Belichick and the Patriots organization can install in him. He doesn't have to throw the ball down the field 60 yards every time a linebacker's pressuring him. The injury history. The injury history, not his fault. But the big factor. It is his level of play and his discipline. Cam Newton took his Super Bowl loss like a complete child. Now, I've never lost a Super Bowl, and I can tell you it's probably heartbreaking. But to take the Super Bowl loss the way he did after making all that noise all season, and he couldn't even sit at the podium after Von Miller gave him nightmares. That's the problem. That is what has to change. Now, is Cam Newton going to behave himself? I would like to think so. But the question is, what happens if he doesn't? The Patriots have had a system for so long that has been designed to win. They've had one of the best quarterbacks of all time. They have one of the best coaches of all time. They've had great foundation and great players. But now part of the problem is that they don't have those weapons they used to have. Yeah, Julian Edelman's still on the team. There's no Gronkowski. The Patriots, to me, have never been a team that have really had a consistently solid running back. They've had running backs that they've made good for short periods of time. But I don't think that they were one of those teams that had a running back that was unbelievable. LeGarrette Blount had his moments. Sony Michel had his moments. They made teams better. Now, part of the injuries, but most importantly, his level of behavior. The behavior of Cam Newton is what makes me nervous on New England, because we know New England is one of those teams where they just feel like, or they know, they don't put up with nonsense. AB's allegations came out like that. They gave him his future endeavors, and on he went. Now, maybe they did that because it's AB, and AB has the history, and New England was trying to make a point that they were not going to put up with AB's BS. But New England didn't really have much of a choice. Now, we all knew Belichick. We knew they all had a plan. They played us like strings, folks. You thought that New England was going to go into the season with Brian Hoyer as their quarterback. No, they weren't. They were not going to go into New England week 1. I forgot, who did they play week 1? I don't know off the top of my head. Is it New Orleans, Kansas? I don't know. They were not going to go into week number 1 with Brian Hoyer as their quarterback. But they didn't really have many options. Cam Newton is a good enough quarterback to where you try him for a 1-year deal. The Patriots don't have a choice. They didn't draft the quarterback. They didn't think about that. My question is the reason why it didn't happen sooner. It didn't happen sooner because the Patriots were hesitant. They were very hesitant about Cam Newton. They were probably looking at Cam Newton under a glass eye or a microscope because they wanted to see Cam Newton make a slight mistake that would rub them the wrong way. And maybe they did, maybe they didn't. But the Patriots have nothing to lose. Cam Newton is going to make this Patriots team better. But the question is, how much better? That's where my situation is with this. They're a better team, yes. Is it fun to watch? Probably. Edelman and Cam should be an interesting combination. But what if Cam Newton comes in and the Patriots are 0-1, 0-2, 0-3? What if, by some miracle, the Patriots are 0-5? Heading into the heart of October, the Patriots are 0-5. How do you think Cam Newton's going to react? Does it mean that Cam Newton is the problem? What if, by some miracle, the Patriots finish the season 13-3? Does that mean that Tom Brady really lost a step and he just didn't fit the system anymore? I feel like you get a lot of answers to these questions. But Cam Newton is Cam Newton. The best thing that he can do, continue to work on his game, play football the way that we know he can, and keep his mind on the football field, and don't say things that don't need to be said. That's what worries me about Cam Newton. That's why I never thought he was going to New England. I think everybody logically said New England, but for me personally, I thought that Jacoby Brissett would have been a solid option for New England. Knows the system, good quarterback. What happens to Jacoby Brissett now? Is Jacoby Brissett willing to be a backup quarterback? I'm going to have to do some research on Jacoby Brissett because I don't know he's good enough to be a starting quarterback. But again, not a lot of teams need a starting quarterback right now. But the Patriots were the one that, like that, obviously were to the naked eye, the team that needed that starting quarterback. But for me, I'm interested to see how Cam Newton works on the team. You know, I think that the Patriots need to try to build more young talent like they always have done. They need to get a better offense going. The receiving core needs to get stronger. Their defense was fantastic last year for the most part, but their offense was lacking, and we're going to learn this season, was Tom Brady was Tom Brady that problem? I don't think Tom Brady's going to have a tough time on Tampa Bay. I do not see Tom Brady having any type of tough time on Tampa Bay. I think that Tampa Bay is going to have a good season. Do they have a 13-3 season? Probably not. I think this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team is kind of like a better version of the hype of the Cleveland Browns. I think the hype of the Cleveland Browns was so premature. I think that we all got onto that. Odell Beckham, Myles Garrett. But the difference is that Tampa Bay doesn't have the egos on their team that Cleveland has. Cleveland is so ego-filled. Baker Mayfield has an ego. I'm sorry to say it. I don't think Baker Mayfield is as good as advertised. I don't think he's bad. I don't think he's one of those quarterbacks where people sit here and say, oh my God, he's terrible. He's not terrible, but he's not as good as he was advertised, and he damn sure ain't my number one pick. Odell Beckham, good football player. Haven't seen that much from him since he left the Giants. I really haven't. What have you seen from him? Lit it up for a season or two on the Giants. Had a couple of games last year on Cleveland. Torched the Jets. Had another good game late season. Didn't see much. From him. Is it Baker Mayfield's problem? Maybe. I don't think Baker Mayfield is as good of a quarterback as Eli was. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that right now. Eli Manning in his prime would wipe the floor with Baker Mayfield. But here, that's all I got to say. That's all I got to say, and that's what I think everybody thinks. We're going to have to sit. We're going to have to see. We're going to have to watch to see what's really going to come of it. It's going to be interesting to watch. I think New England, regardless of whatever quarterback or whoever they picked up, was going to be a team that everybody needed to watch to begin with. So now it just adds that intriguement and that intriguing factor into what is Cam Newton going to be like? Is he going to be a different person? If they start winning, is he going to get cocky? Is he going to, the Patriots are so used to players that have, Gronkowski was a different animal, but that was one guy. What if the team is terrible? There's so many things that can go into this. I don't got too much more to talk about today. Again, I've been battling my own issues. But I appreciate everybody for watching as always. Got some NFL news tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to talk about AEW Fighter Fest. What is this? Some Six Flags shit. We'll talk about Fighter Fest, which is a 2-week event on 2 nights. It's going to be starting Wednesday night. That's going to be night number 1 of Fighter Fest. And night number 2 is going to be July 8th, Wednesday night as well. We're going to preview and predict that whole entire show, which probably is going to be tomorrow. Worst case scenario it would definitely be Wednesday, but I'm definitely happy to get that out there. But the Cam Newton news coming out there was something that I just had to put. So as always, I hope everybody stays safe, and I appreciate everybody for watching.